We start tonight with a new proposal from state lawmakers. Here are the details. With protests over ICE raids, some Democrats want to ban officers from wearing face masks.
Yeah, but who does it impact, and does the bill stand a chance? ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha is at the state capitol getting answers tonight.
It is called the No Secret Police Act, and that name is already stirring debate. As you can imagine, supporters and critics are completely on the opposite sides of the badge.
At times even wearing army fatigues, where you can't tell are these law enforcement officers or a vigilante militia.
Democratic state senators Scott Wiener and Arreguin says it's about restoring public trust by making sure officers, especially federal ones, in the light of the events in Los Angeles, can't operate anonymously on California soil.
People are afraid. Families are being torn apart. In addition, we are seeing people who are impersonating law enforcement officials. And so this is also to try to discourage these imposters.
The bill would require officers to keep their faces visible and uniforms marked with names or badges, except in certain high-risk situations like SWAT calls or disasters.
It is important that we put this in place now.
But critics like Assemblymember Tom Lackey, who was a retired CHP sergeant, says the bill sends the wrong message and could even violate federal jurisdiction.
And to call it the No Secret Police Act, I think that promotes distrust. It's an us versus them environment. There are a number of people that want to retaliate against some of these officers that have their face covered because they become victims of doxing and targeting by criminal professionals.
A prominent California Police Association says this could impact their undercover work.
If you have a bone to pick with the federal government, with how the federal law enforcement is, then you need to go over there and deal with it with them.
Opponents say when it comes to local and state officers, they are already required by law to have identifiable information and department insignia on their uniforms. Sacramento attorney Mark Reichel, who has taken on federal cases, says federal officers are supposed to identify themselves, but adds there is no clear federal rule that allows ICE to wear masks.
Is there a conflict between the federal law and the state law? And if there is, the federal law prevails. If there isn't, is it too much of an infringement on federal law enforcement? And that's going to be the big question. In light of the fact their own rules require them to identify themselves anyway, there's a good chance this law actually may be upheld in California only for ICE agents who operate in California.
The acting ICE director defending his officers, telling the Associated Press in a statement that the officers wear their face coverings so they don't receive death threats. Now, this bill is new. It hasn't been analyzed by the legislative attorneys, and no hearing has been set. Reporting from the state capitol, Garshpal Sangha, ABC 10.